Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Nordcast marathon game sent in by you, the fans, to Lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com, and it's hopefully another 3v3 banger.
Yeah.
Mr. Maximus Black.
Yes.
Hit me up with that old school noise. You're gonna have to imagine that the names are at the top. We can't do that in a 3v3, so just, use your imagination. We got a little red versus blue action. What do we got on the red side? We've got a Protoss and 2 Zerg.
Yep, 2 Zerg and Protoss, yep.
And then up top, we've got a Zerg, a Protoss, and a Terran. The United Nations of StarCraft in the top left. Versus what seems like a much cheesier combo in the down in the bottom right, although, despite that, doesn't look like a lot of cheese possible openings.
No.
Which in a 3v3, I mean, I just expect it right off the rip to see some crazy shit. But if we're just gonna be doing a normal opening, I mean, we could be in for some hot army action. What does a normal opening even look like in a 3v3?
I don't know. I think it probably looks very similar to regular openings for each. Blue side is opting to go for an expansion each. So they're going for macro style here. And down here, it looks like they are not necessarily going macro. Oh, there you go. So we got both the Zergs expanding, which is pretty standard. Protoss hasn't put down the second Nexus yet, but I'm sure he will now that he's got his core. So pretty standard stuff. In case you guys don't know, you guys can get a game for sure casted here on the channel if you get yourself a NORD VPN subscription using that promo code OTT. Link will be in the description below. Make sure you take a screenshot of your 2-year subscription purchase and send a replay, both the screenshot and a replay of your choice, under 30 minutes, and we will cast it, no questions asked. Can be a 2v2, 3v3, 1v1, Nang, will cheese fail, it don't matter. AI craft, I'll do anything. Doesn't really matter. Just send it over to lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com. Our email is in the description of the video as well.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, we've got some very talkative Vlads in here, which tells me that this is possibly, to some degree, like a random team. This isn't like a three bros or broettes on Discord talking to each other while playing. With the amount of text chat that we've been seeing cropping up here, we see that Protoss is getting into that upper tier of tech now that. Well, actually, did they know they tech first and then went into expansions after?
Yes.
And then blue went quicker on the expansion front. Oh, right into DTs. Okay, so we know Red's Protoss is looking to be spicy. And everyone else down there seems to be just kind of going along at a normal pace. A little bit of scouting action going on here. I mean, how difficult it can be difficult to get DTs to work in a 1v1. But I mean, you're betting on 3 people not having detection. That's going to be a gamble arena.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Zerg can always make overseers, but it can throw people off. You can do a lot of damage in the mineral line. And speaking of damage, he's going to get through into the main. Now, Bob was doing his job, but you can't expect Bob to do everything. Immediately going into the mineral line, gonna be taking out the Queen and every single drone down here, and there is absolutely nothing in these bases that can do anything about this. And just like that, Destructo is going to be the first victim here in this game. Oh my goodness, he was just attacking that hatchery, allowing Destructo to kill a lot of those lings, but still too many Zerglings here for our blue player. Going to take out that wave, and now another Queen's going down. The mineral lines are destroyed. Not looking good.
No, I was gonna say, don't give up another Queen. That Queen is, I thought the Queen was somehow gonna survive that. That almost did. If he pulled it back a little earlier, could have. But that was a lot of damage there. As you said, Bob valiantly doing his best, but that was a lot to put up with. At the same time, we've got Hydra coming out of one of the Zerg in red, and we have the Spire as well in production. And so that was a good harass, but in a 3v3, I mean, there's a lot of resources to go around. And they got to be careful that the retaliation isn't worse than the harassment. We do see that the blue Protoss is getting the DT action en route as well, and so it looks like both sides are going to have a little bit of spice as we see one out leading the charge there right now.
Yeah, and I think what Zerk was doing there, he's trying to buy a little bit of time with those lings to keep that pylon in play, but it doesn't do it. Just like that, Terran loses all of the mech. An absolutely horrible unit composition to feed to the meat grinder.
Go up against that.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to work out. Very, very solid harassment and an attack there from Blue, but the follow-up, not good at all, and just kind of evened out the playing field. And now I don't think the blue side is going to be able to be overly aggressive for quite some time.
No, they're going to have to sit back and wait, and unfortunately for them, that retaliation, depending on how soon it comes, that's going to be a lot to handle, you know, at the end of the day. I mean, we'll have to wait and see if Red decides to sit back and just continue to macro up and not try to be too retaliatory too quickly. Given the tech that we're seeing coming out right now, looks like we're going into possible Colossus action. That would make a fair amount of sense. You know, they might not be super aggressive, although we are seeing aggression from the Terran.
Yeah.
As once again coming down here trying to get some more damage done. But, I mean, this is good, but you're throwing a lot of mech out the window and wasting a lot of units. And again, every time you go down here and this fumbles, you're giving Red the impression that, you know, maybe they can go and do some extra work. Although I will say the blue DTs putting in a fair amount of work as well, shutting down the expansion there at the top.
Yeah, shutting down an expansion. Now he's going to start running in here. There is an Overseer above. Now mutas are out. He's going to do a significant amount of damage here if they don't get a Observer or something to see this stuff.
They're pinging like crazy. They know they're there.
Yeah.
But
there we go.
But somehow, okay, there we go. It's like, where in the hell is the detection?
Yeah.
They got two Zerg and not a single Overseer. Like, what the fuck is going on here? But clean that up. But here comes more harassment. I mean, and again, man, you know, not unsuccessful. But all I've been seeing out of this blue Zerg is mostly just Zerglings. I mean, and that's what he's building at home right now too. More Zerglings. So I mean, this is lots of harassment. But when are you gonna leave the Zerglings behind? Yeah. He's got nothing. He's got 2 Evo chambers and a Dream.
Yeah, he doesn't have much. He doesn't even have a lot of drones. Like, where's his? Is there another base that he has? Like, he's not fully saturated there. He's only on 2 bases.
Was there like
as the
a
Zerg.
drop that we missed or something?
I don't
like,
think
did we miss something, or is he just shit in the bed?
I don't think so. Units lost 91, but those were going to be the Zerglings. Yeah, I just don't think he's been producing a lot of minerals. He's just been harassing with the lings, and that's it. Maybe that's part of the strategy here. He's the one that's just constantly harassing, while the other ones are hard macroing. I will say, this what is this? Glocked. This guy double expanded as Protoss. He's overly saturated there. Could throw some over here, but he's doing it right. You know, he's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Stargates, and now he's pumping out and chrono boosting the tits out of these Void Rays, and that army is going to end up being pretty freaking scary, because 3-base Protoss for this long can start to spike pretty heavily.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be. It looks like we might, you know, unless Terran just keeps throwing all of this mech away. You know, this could be quite a clash. Red seems to be pretty content and just continuing to expand, but man, here comes another harassment. The DTs are out, but there are Ravens on the field, so they're not going to be able to do anything here. They're quickly shot down. Now with the rest of the units showing up, you know, Blue's going to want to be careful here. He's got the range, obviously, but he'll eventually get caught up to as he throws down or tries to throw down turrets and cancels them, because he's just clicking so feverishly. Didn't get all the turrets out on the ground, and as such, gets pushed out, and this is kind of a wash. Not really much of a success or a failure. But I wouldn't push too far in. You're going to lose absolutely everything, Mr. Blue. So just be careful about that as Red continues to struggle to try and like lock down this forward expansion, and more shield batteries, I guess, are the solution to this problem, despite having exactly 3 probes on that base.
Yeah, I wonder if the shield batteries will actually charge ally Protoss players. That's interesting.
That's a good question.
I don't actually know the answer to that. Maybe somebody in the comment section can let us know. But yeah, no, it's going to put down some shield batteries there. I think that's really smart, seeing as though the majority of the attacks are going to come through either up this ramp into here or up this ramp into there. Although there is a lot of Void Rays.
down?
Yes.
Was trying to be, but they ran into a wall of Void Rays.
Yeah, this is a scary amount of Void Rays. Like, but that's a scary amount of Hydra with Muta. You definitely don't want to take this fight right yet. Because, no, now he's making lurkers. He actually had now he has a small window. Nope, now he doesn't. He's got to back off.
That window is opening and closing over and over and over again. Oh, no. Okay, all right, okay. If those mines were buried...
Exactly. I was able to say, if I was him and seeing this, I'd be putting mines here. I'd be putting mines, like, here. Like, places where you know the mutas would, like, try and fly to do, you know, mineral hits. And, but... Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. This is actually a pretty scary army.
It is, but if they attack separately, then it might not be as scary as it could be. They've got the Void Rays out there, but they got to be really careful. I mean, he turns some into lurkers, but that's a lot of Muta and a lot of Hydra. But they don't want to. What are you doing? No, what are you doing, you fool? Don't take that head on.
Well, he did.
Okay.
And there goes there goes the Void Rays. He really needed his Terran player to be there with him to clean up those mutas and keep those Void Rays alive. That was a pretty big error. That was not a good trade. Basically, one of the expansions for the entire army of our blue Protoss player. Now lurkers are in play, scanning, but that ain't gonna do shit. And now we can finally see Red turn the tides, go up there and do a counterattack and do significant amount of damage.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is gonna, when he does, I think they're gonna focus on trying to clean up this Terran threat down here. Maybe throw some mutas up in the meanwhile, but it looks like he's content to just kind of go toe-to-toe here. The Ravens aren't gonna have energy for absolutely ever, and really, if Red wanted to, he could just go and take out one of these forward expansions, I think, pretty quickly, and just bounce, as he's got a lot of, well, there's two, I mean, I say Red, there's two Zerg. I mean, they've just got huge numbers right now.
Yeah.
And really, I'd be A-moving into that forward expansion pretty much immediately after that victory, especially with all those Void Rays.
Exactly.
They know they got to rebuild them.
Exactly. Like, killed all of those Void Rays. If I was the Zergs and the Protoss down here, if I was the red team, I would be going for a counterattack right now. Not enough siege tanks out for a Terran. He's going a little bit too heavy there on the Cyclones. They are good, but really needs the siege tanks to get rid of all of this Hydra, especially with the Lurker. They have scans, definitely. But this is not looking good. He is panicking and putting a whole bunch of missile turrets down, which is good. But why isn't Red just going in and attacking? And finally, it looks like they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been waiting forever for this. It's like they've had the opportunity to finally doing it. Man, they just keep splitting up both sides, really.
Yeah.
Splitting their units up and not getting the most out of it. I mean, this is a terrifying army if they attack together. I don't think this is... Oh, there's 11 Ultralisk coming for blue right now, Mr. Black, and a whole lot of Zerglings.
Oh,
that's gonna be dangerous.
That's a big pickup there for our red Protoss, getting rid of all those SCVs, killed off the majority of the mech. Still have quite a few missile turrets in play. A lot of the mutas came in, killed the expansion and the SCVs there. Now going to try and turn around. Would love to be able to kill those Ravens. That'd be a huge pickup, but can't go too close because if 3 of these Widow Mines go off on these mutas, it is game over for all of those mutas. They will die instantaneously.
Yeah, it looks like the other Zerg was attacking at the front there at that forward base. And as I said, there were like 11 Ultralisk in production. I think they're all popped now with 2 or 3 more on the way. And as we've seen before, I think, was it the previous 3v3? I can't remember if it was 2v2. Ultralisks in these games at numbers pretty much can spell the end of the game if you don't have a lot to deal with them. And here they come. Blues Zerg is finally coming through after being stuck on Zerglings for the longest time, and he didn't skimp on these. They don't give a shit about those storms.
Hey, do nothing.
Fucking walk through that shit like they're singing in the frickin' rain, and they're gonna wipe everything out in this corner of the map. Red can only kite for so long, and all of this is going to go away. And really, at this point, Red, with that window of opportunity, is now kind of back against the wall, and they're going to need to learn how to be together if they're going to come out of this alive and stop this weird split nonsense. This is not the time for harassment. This is the time to get together and win the game. It's a 3v3.
It is a 3v3. Whenever you go up there by yourself, outside of what Red is doing because of the counterattack, so I do like this harassment. He's done a massive amount of damage. Every frickin' mineral line, except for the top here, has been destroyed This is gone. That mineral line's gone. That mineral line's gone. That one's still alive, but took a lot of damage. This base died completely. This one's almost gone as well. But meanwhile, this is a massive attack going down here. The Ultralisks are finally dying. There's a mass amount of Hydra in play still, and both bases are getting destroyed. This is a pretty solid back and forth game. I actually don't know who's going to win.
This is a very back and forth game. The red Hydras are carrying hard right now in this defense. Look at how many Hydras there are, and then having the giraffes in the back, that's a lot of damage in a short period of time, and even then, too much damage for the Ultralisks, who had been really battered and bruised, just making their way all the way down here. He does, I believe, or had more in production. I'm not sure if he's switched it up, but now we've moved into carriers for the blue Protoss. He said that's going to be enough of the Void Rays. Let's get into something with a slightly bigger PP, and getting into the carriers. And yes, 7 more plus whatever he might have produced in the meanwhile. Ultralisks are on the way, while the other Zerg continues to stay on Hydra, which is fine. It just means he's got to be careful, and definitely, for the love of God, stand together. Fucking move as a ball! Death ball! Why are we doing this again? You've already killed everything! Like, yes, good job. You killed all the economy. Now kill them!
Here we go. They're doing a 2-prong attack now, trying to bait with these mutas while then simultaneously going up with a bunch of Hydra and some lurkers there as well. Shit's getting very real. Only air here. Tons and tons of Hydra. Only, what, now 4, well, actually, this is starting to get pretty scary amounts of Ultralisks there with the air, and I think these Hydralisks are eventually going to die there with the air helping out. The Lurkers doing quite a bit of damage to those Ultralisks, but it is not enough. They get cleaned up. Meanwhile, up at the top right, both the bases are down. The Colossi are moving their way out. More of the tech. Blue has been pretty much useless the majority of the game. Or I guess the Blue Terran, I should say. Yeah, he hasn't really been doing a whole lot except putting down missile turrets and rebuilding them. Now, finally, he's going up to take out the economy of our Protoss, who has been doing a lot of the carrying up here, and this is really going to hurt Team Blue.
Pylons. Pylons. Kill something.
Philippe Beacon down. That's good.
Great.
That's good. Yep.
Good.
He can take this fight. He can take this fight with these mutas.
100%.
He could kill those like one volley each one of them. Like, why are you running?
I don't know why we're running from this. There you go. Okay, figured it out. Oh, now the carriers are here. Now you don't want to take that fight.
Yeah, bot time.
Now you're stuck in the corner.
Now you need to fly away. Oh, free void there. No, don't get greedy. Run.
Nah.
Run.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. He's going to get out by the skin of his teeth and save himself something in the neighborhood of 12 muta. As I saw Red Zerg is tech switched to a degree into or side graded into Hydra himself. I don't know if he's also planning on moving into Ultralisk at some point, but he's gotten himself a Hydra den back out, or maybe it's the other Zerg since there's 2 of them.
Is it Ultralisk den?
There's the Ultra.
Yeah.
Did we see that?
Oh no, those are 2. No, those are just 2 Ultras that are being.
2 Zerg.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. That's right. I keep forgetting. I see red Zerg, and I just think it's just 1 Zerg and not 2 Zergs.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, one hadn't gone into Hydra, the other did, but now they're both on Hydra tech. We see infestation pits going down for both the Zerg, and coincidentally, I thought for a second I saw an infestation pit for the blue Zerg, but that might have just been a weird thing, I don't know. But either way, this is going to get into basically, I think, just a Zerg battle. I don't it's going to be so many number of units. Then, like, the carriers are definitely good, but I feel like this is going to be Zerg versus Zerg versus Zerg versus Zerg in this late game as the units continue to amass.
This could be the end of the game here. This could be the end of finally coming together as 1 unit. Now, both Zergs and the Protoss working together in tandem, finally making shit happen. The economy on the blue side is absolutely in shambles. I mean, there's drones out here in the battlefield. He is baiting these Ultralisks to go into the lurkers. Very well played there. The 2 other Ultralisks are almost dead, and all there is left is this little bit of air. Once again, going off onto the side alone, needs to stick with his buddies here. They do this once, and they A-move and they win.
I mean, that's been the case a couple of times now, but unfortunately, he's going in alone.
There we go.
He's
now
got a
it's
fair
done.
amount, but there we go. Okay,
there we
now
go.
We're all right, keep attacking. Don't run. Keep attacking.
Yeah, you got it.
There you go. There it is.
That's the show.
Now we're talking. Ah, there you go. Red pulling it off, finally getting together and working as a unit and battling back that blue Protoss that didn't shut the fuck up like the whole game. That dude was just in chat chirping shit, pulling out memes from 2012. You mad, bro? This man is very clearly 36 years old and as bald as I am, still playing 3v3s and talking his shit like he's on the fucking 7F12U forum 10 years ago. But, you know, that was a hell of a fight. A lot of back and forth. Kind of could have ended earlier than it needed, you know, than it did because they just didn't stand together. Oh, here we go. See, here's the counter. This is how you gotta keep your mouth shut.
Oh, then he leaves. All right, there's the GG. Blue team.
Okay. You mad, bro?
You mad, bruh? Me no mad.
Oh,
bruh.
Jesus, that's so cringe.
GG.
Oh, God. There you go, GG.
Oh, here we go.
For fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
That's so embarrassing.
Yep. I don't know, man. If you get upset in 3v3s like that, bro, you've got some problems, man. You've got some problems. What are you doing? Solid game, though. That was solid. It was action-packed the whole time.
Yes.
Back and forth. As soon as the action started, it didn't stop. It was like 15 minutes of straight back and forth. So, solid game. Thank you for sending it in. Once again, guys, if you want to get your game guaranteed cast here on the channel, send it over to us, lifesaglitchtv@gmail.com, with a screenshot of your NordVPN subscription that you purchased. And yeah, I don't have anything else to add except that we're gonna jump into the next one. So that's what we gonna do.
Let's do